Here we are. Yep, that's it. That's it. Alright, bring us around here. Jeez. This is rough. Holy cow. You talk about a rocky moon. Yeah, you know what's funny about that is there's actually some moons that are so small and have such low gravity that people have accidentally ejected themselves into space with their SRV, and they're just basically floating above the planet's surface. The only two options are self-destruct the SRV, or have a friend or somebody come find you and give you a little nudge with their ship back down to the planet's surface. Here we are. Alright guys, so say hello to Hyford's ship. This is a crashed Type 9, which you can kind of tell right there. So this place, people have known about this place for a while. This used to be sentry guarded, and up until yesterday. And today, it has a message. I need canisters. I need to find... There's a nav beacon we're supposed to go find it. There it is. Comms control. Here it is. So this, I'll read it to you guys since it's kind of small. Welcome back, Commander. You have one message inbox pending, and here's what it says. I don't know what's going to be left by the time you get this. Had to stop them from intercepting the message, but please, go to the HIP 26176 system and find that complex. For the sake of the ones taken there by scum like me, someone has to remember them and ensure it never happens again. So HIP 26176 is the next location that we are going to. Basically, backstory for everybody. There's rumor from years ago, literally years ago, as in 5 years, real time, not game time, of experiments being done by a secret sort of military group to see if humans could pilot Thargoid ships. Here's a listening post. Yeah, so if you can clean that up, which, haha, I cheated, and I do, this says set the escape pod to, and it's dot dot dot. You'll find a ship waiting. Travel to Cole 69 sector JIIC10-4. If you believe in anything, I suggest you pray to it. And then the 238.46 is a distance. So we're going to go here to planet, or to A11, or A5I. Alright, so Oaken Point, I'm going to read this to you here, is part of Project, I'm trying to read and fly and land and do multiple things at a time.
Landing gear deployed.
This is a big facility. Let's see if we can go over here. Looking for a place to land. That should work. Come on. There. Alright, so Oaken Point is part of Project Seraph. And, let's see here. Project Seraph is an attempt to allow humans to control Thargoid ships run by the Azimuth biochemicals. If you guys remember a while back, that mysterious ship showed up in the bubble owned by them that had been missing for 200 years. It is all part of the same storyline. There we go, full beam. It's all part of the same storyline. So what we have is 5 data points to scan around here.
Project Seraph Log 1. Professor Thomas Dawn reporting. After years of preparation, we are ready to enter the trial phase of our work. The subject quota outlined in Requisition Order 2125 has been fulfilled. Surgical enhancements are scheduled on candidates deemed most likely to survive the Thargoid systemic interface. There is a sense of excitement here at the facility. My team recognize that we are on the threshold of something truly remarkable. While our competitors chase rumors and run lab tests on curious probes, we are working towards the first human-piloted Thargoid vessel. Of course, our research here will be the first of many such projects. This hostile race has plagued human space for hundreds of years. These creatures, so foreign, so fundamentally alien in every aspect, have sought to dominate us. The technology used in these attempts has been devastating. Our work will establish the first example of humanity harnessing Thargoid machines for its needs. Over time, we will continue to assimilate the aliens' technology until we have stripped everything we want. Then we shall lead the mission to wipe them out forever. The mycoid virus merely bought us time. Our true victory will be absolute.
There's the start of your backstory. Alright, let me see. I think I scanned that one. I'm missing one. So let's continue here.
Project Serif Log 6, Professor Thomas Dawn reporting. Today, my team completed the first live tests of human integration with a Thargoid ship. Subject A1 entered the Thargoid vessel at 0800 and initiated the interface procedure with assistance from the witnessing Dr. Pierce and Dr. Hampton. A1's vital signs were stable for 43 seconds, at which point there was a major electrical surge through the central nervous system. Both witnesses observed the subject suffer a violent seizure which ultimately proved fatal. The Thargoid vessel appeared unaffected. The next 5 tests were similar in outcome. While unfortunate, our analysts were able to identify where this surge originates. Subject A7 showed more promise, again witnessed by Pierce and Hamlin. Adjustments were made to A7's spinal port to suppress the energy surge. 45 seconds after initiation, an electrical spike occurred which remained within safety limits. A7 reported some discomfort, but was able to proceed with vessel initiation. At this point, the Thargoid vessel emitted a low whine, I suppose. Signs of activity briefly flickered on the hull's external frame. Both witnesses reported A7 crying out once before expiring, whereupon the vessel returned to a dormant state. Dr. Pierce is adamant the subject said, "It won't let me," but Dr. Hamlin could not confirm this. We're still waiting for telemetry on A7's test to determine exactly what killed the subject. Adjustments will be made to the next test subject in response to these findings. Project Serif Log 9, Professor Thomas Dawn reporting. The 4th day of testing has concluded. The further revisions to our surgical couplings are finally beginning to show promise.
My bad.
Project Serif Log 9, Professor Thomas Dawn reporting. The 4th day of testing has concluded. The further revisions to our surgical couplings are finally beginning to show promise. My team isolated a systemic membrane in the Thargoid design, which acts as a defense mechanism akin to a software firewall. While we were able to theorize a way to counteract this mechanism, there was one variable which could not be defined without a live test. Subject D1's primary neural implant was calibrated accordingly. I regret that D1's test ended poorly, but we received the information we needed. Subject D2's test used the recalibrated couplings. Her introduction to the Thargoid vessel proceeded smoothly, and as with A7, the hull's external frame responded visually. Dr. Pierce and Dr. Hamlin witnessing both reported D2 as responsive. 76 seconds into the test, the craft powered down once more. D2 departed the craft with help but standing, the sight of which inspired applause from the team on the ground. D2 is now in the infirmary, exhausted but physically unharmed. Her brief statement implied a connection with the vessel which proved emotionally difficult to process. Our research technicians are preparing limbic augments for future subjects. The rest of today's scheduled tests will go ahead as planned while these augments are prepared. It is important to acquire additional data for our surgeons, improving the efficiency of future subject enhancement.
2 more logs.
Project Seraph, Log 14, Professor Thomas Dawn reporting. There has been considerable progress in our work. After an initially unremarkable series of tests, Subject H8 successfully interfaced with the Thargoid vessel. 93 seconds into the test, the craft moved approximately 18 feet from its docking props and hovered in place. The flight was stable and accompanied by a gentle hum. I would describe the sound as subdued, as though the vessel had been brought to heel at last. The landing, 28 seconds later, was abrupt, but only superficial damage was sustained. H8 is unconscious but stable, under the care of the medical team. Dr. Hamlin and Dr. Tao, witnessing, were shaken but unharmed. Subject H9's test has been postponed while the Thargoid ship is returned to its dock. The whereabouts of D2 remains unconfirmed. She may be a stowaway. The only ship to have departed recently belongs to one Commander Hyford, following a delivery of potential subjects. Captain Stenson believes the commander is complicit, but I am not convinced. Hyford lacks the character to betray us and is quite aware of the consequences for doing so. Regardless, Black Flight operatives are already tracking him down. On a personal note, I would like to emphasize the incredible work by my team so far. Each day brings us closer to the assimilation of our enemy's primary asset, their technological secrets.
Did you guys catch that little note there at the end? One of the pilots is missing, and the only ship there recently was Commander Hyford. In case you didn't notice the name of the stream that we're doing, this is the Hyford's Cache story. Commander Hyford is the crash ship in Colonia that we found when we were out there, which is what started this whole story. And that's what we're chasing, is he smuggled out one of these pilots, and these are the tests that are happening. One more log and then I'll put it all together.
Project Seraph, Log 27. Professor Thomas Dawn reporting. Subjects V1 through V9 attempted to interface with the Thargoid vessel today. No measurable response was seen for any of these tests. I have decided to temporarily suspend the test phase of the project. Since Subject H8's connection and subsequent death 2 days later, the Thargoid vessel has entered a state of dormancy. It is as though all internal power sources are spent. We may as well be plugging our subject into a rock. A new Thargoid craft is required if our work here is to continue. I have identified a suitable system to begin our search. Black Flight operatives will depart shortly, in advance of our research party. The recent report of a commander encountering a Thargoid vessel in the Pleiades is intriguing. I only hope this was not a singular event, or some misunderstood data. Thargoid vessels scouting human space would significantly improve our chances of capturing one of their ships. Our time frame is likely to be slashed, of course. I fear our limited success is worth a few more years at best. The Witch will not be pleased with the lack of tangible results, despite our initial progress. Still, one must remain optimistic. Our understanding of Thargoid interface mechanisms has improved considerably. Plenty of enhanced test subjects remain in our care. Dr. Tao is writing a paper discussing their surgical procedures, which should greatly benefit Azimuth's medtech department. All Project Seraph needs is a little luck. I am not so proud as to withhold a prayer asking for that luck. Perhaps the gods will smile upon us.
Alright, there's all 5 logs. So, Oaken Point. This is 200 years ago. And the reason that all of this story has mixed significance with everything... Here. Let's see if we can get a good picture. Is because 200 years ago, here at Oaken Point, they were doing testing. They were testing basically the ability of Thargoid vessels being controlled by humans. And the test subjects, the human pilots that would do it, basically all died. It was such an overload to their central nervous system that they couldn't handle it, and their bodies would die. However, the 1/2 pilots that did managed to control the Thargoid ships for a little bit. That's where you heard 2 little flights, like 18 seconds and 45 seconds. Talk about the ships being alive, having their own basically brain and nervous system, and it being an overwhelmingly emotional experience for the test pilots. So much that, like they said at the end of Report 4, or whatever that was, that 2 days later they died from the experience. And all that testing was going on here. Whatever happened during that last connection caused their test ships to be unusable, and so they went hunting for more. And this place has been abandoned for 200 years. The 2 megaships, the Hesperus, and I can't remember the name of the other one, but the one is the one that we explored a while back, are tied to that. The ships were abandoned and randomly showed up, and they went missing 200 years ago. Salvation, and that storyline that we're also part of and also following, also came online 200 years ago. And there's still a lot of questions about that. So it's all tied together, and that's what I wanted to start putting these pieces of the puzzle together and start putting the story together, is to help explain that. We're going to go on to our next point, which is, technically speaking, not that far away. Oh, I thought I could get through that. I guess I can't. Here we go. 6 jumps. Easy trip. Everybody ready?
Landing gear retracted.
The scenery sure is pretty, isn't it? Let's get above 2 kilometers, and I think we can actually just hyperspace right from here.
Frameshift drive charging.
Now we're going to the inner Orion Spur. Yeah, that was the shortcut. Alright. So decoding that message and what it says, I can't stay here too long, don't feel safe, like something's about to appear in the sky any second. I've plotted a route to Rigo DKR B4-1. No reason for me to be there. Meet me, please don't be long. 445.10, that's how many light years away it is. Or not. Can't tell what he's doing. Alright, here's the next beacon. So this says You were supposed to be here. It's like a back and forth conversation. You were supposed to be here. I'm trying. Project isn't going well. Hard to get away. Screw the project. Said you would get me home. I'm sorry. One more stop. I'll find you, I promise. Where? Sign UF? I don't know how to pronounce these systems. GBO 69-8. I'll try. I'm tired. Scared to close my eyes. The dreams? Question mark. Just meet me. I'll be there, I promise. 376.90. So that is where we're headed next. This is another signal. This one reads, Stenson suspects someone helped you escape. I can't do anything that would draw suspicion. They reassigned me to HIP 22460, which is where we're going next. Have to go, no questions asked. Have embedded the system permit code to this message. You take it, give it to the press or authorities, whatever you want, but don't ever come here. Run. Run as fast as you can and never look back. I'm so sorry for everything we did to you. 301.66 message ends. There is the Overlook Megaship. And look at all that Thargoid damage. Let's go take a look. It's a big ship, I can tell you that. A deep canyon over there, and they built this in between two mountains. Here it is.
Landing gear deployed.
Man, I wonder where we can land. This is not the smallest ship to land anywhere. Let's see if we can do something like that.
Low gravity warning.
That was fun. Well, look at that. What do we have here? That's a couple crashed DVX Explorers right there. Diamondback Explorers. That's interesting. Wonder what that's from. There's even what looks like that Reen piece over there kind of looks like it's destroyed too. We got a bunch of stuff to scan, so let's go see if we can scan some stuff. There's one. All right.
Project Seraph, Log 34. Professor Kaylee Oren reporting. Following Professor Dawn's reassignment, I'm responsible for logging the next phase of Project Seraph. The primary objective is acquiring a new Thargoid vessel. Our human pilot integration tests aren't going to achieve much without one. The staging facility in HIP 22460 is up and running. Black Flight ships patrolling in anticipation of non-human activity. Ground teams are examining the system's 2 Thargoid surface sites in the hope of attracting a Thargoid vessel. According to Captain Stenson, our operation is textbook. I'm not convinced the captain could read a textbook, but I'll take him at his word. The permit check is still active in this system's nav beacon. I have to say, the considerable investment in securing that permit is impressive. Pass my thanks on to the relevant donors. Initial system scans aren't showing much promise. If the Thargoids are still interested in this system, they haven't left any recent evidence. Reports of strange encounters in the Pleiades sector have increased, though. Multiple pilots have claimed they were pulled out of hyperspace by an alien craft. As you know, this tactic was common during the First Thargoid War. I hope you understand we're potentially acting as bait out here. Assuming the surface sites are in an ancient Thargoid territory, then our ground teams are trespassing. We don't yet know how they'll be received. This risk has been calculated into your plans, I assume. I'll report again in a few days.
Interesting. So there's 2 Thargoid sites here somewhere in this system. We're definitely gonna have to go check those out. Here's log 2.
Project Seraph, log 37. Professor Kaylee Oren reporting. Still no Thargoid vessel. The surface sites are providing valuable data on Thargoid architecture and construction methods. I've requested a sweep for evidence of mycoid activity on these relics. I'm sure we'll find a use for the ground team's analysis either way. Dr. Granmore has provided a very long essay on his team's findings at Research Site Amber, which I sent on your preferred channel. You should get comfortable before reading it. A cup of coffee or several would be smart too. As I said, very long essay. One interesting development relates to the disappearance of Subject D2. Our security team found several unauthorized messages which had piggybacked along our encryption network. The datapad sent these messages belonged to Dr. Edmund Pierce. Evidently, he is not as good with technology as he is with bioengineering, so it was simply a matter of time until we noticed. Decoding these messages revealed Pierce has assisted D2's escape from the Oaken Point Infirmary. Pierce confessed and is now incarcerated. When the interrogation is complete, he'll be executed. There was talk of making this a public event, but Pierce is popular with his colleagues. I'll announce the transgression and punishment after the fact. Better to let the traitor's deed speak for him. D2's whereabouts remain unknown. Pierce's messages at least confirm she was placed on Commander Hyford's ship without his knowledge. Hyford's elimination shouldn't affect our flow of test subjects. Until next time, say hi to Dawn for me.
That's interesting. So they're talking about all sorts of stuff. Here's log 3.
Project Seraph, log 39. Professor Kaylee Oren reporting. One of our trade ships has encountered a possible Thargoid vessel. The trader jumped into HIP 22460 with a delivery for Research Site Bronze when it was yanked out of hyperspace. The pilot claims his modules were temporarily shut down. An alien vessel, much larger than the one held at Oaken Point, swept the trade ship with a visible energy wave before departing through a rift in space. The tactics, visual description, and residual wake readings all indicate a Thargoid craft. The trade ship carried one of the artifacts recovered from the Pleiades region for Dr. Granmore's work. Maybe it attracted the alien vessel. If it is of Thargoid origin, it would confirm they're still interested in this system. Perhaps this whole region. If we can somehow draw the ship back into regular space. Oh, surely Captain Stenson has a plan to disable it. I don't know what to make of the encounter. Thargoids have always been aggressive towards humans. Why intercept our trade ship only to leave it intact? Was it gathering information? Attempting to communicate in some way? The potential answers make me a little uneasy. At least violence would be typical behavior, predictable even. But this report suggests an adaptation of sorts, the kind ordered by further up the chain. Well, at least we know they're watching. I'll outline some theories on how to initiate a repeat encounter.
Interesting. As if they're trying to communicate. Oops, my bad.
Project Seraph, Log 42. Professor Kaylee Oren reporting. Less than an hour ago, a Black Flight squadron was intercepted by Thargoids. 7 Black Flight ships were en route from Research Site Bronze to Fort Ash. They picked up an unrecognized signal source and were ordered to investigate. What little telemetry we have shows the ships were attacked soon after dropping from supercruise. At least 3 Thargoid vessels were involved. The skirmish, if what happened even qualifies as one, lasted less than 2 minutes. By the time reinforcements arrived, there was nothing but debris left. The Thargoids had departed. There were no survivors. Professor Dawn always sounds so confident when he talks about our study of Thargoid technology. Our dominance over the aliens seems certain when he discusses Project Seraph. I'm fascinated to know what he makes of this.
Well, that's not good. Last log.
Project Seraph, Log 51. Professor Kaylee Oren reporting. This will probably be the final log for Project Seraph. I don't see much point in continuing after the withdrawal. I know. The witch gave the order. That attack on the Federal convoy is going to draw the superpowers' attention to the Pleiades, and the Thargoid presence is growing stronger each day. We can't risk exposure, so we're pulling out and taking our research with us. I get it. It's just frustrating. I was so sure we were making a difference here. The first human-piloted Thargoid ship will be a huge step in our technological evolution. We were getting closer with each test, and then it just stopped. All the momentum we'd enjoyed ebbed away. People trained to work with hard data have resorted to chasing ghosts. The objective was to find a new Thargoid vessel. As though it were just a matter of time. I guess you could say they found us instead. I'll arrange transport for the remaining test subjects. We have a few locations which could house them for a while. If the Thargoids really are back, then there should be an opportunity to obtain another vessel. Eventually. Assuming they don't wipe us out first, of course. I'll be at Azimuth headquarters for a full debrief within 48 hours.
And that's the last log.
Attention all ships. This carrier is scheduled a hyperspace jump. Please conclude any remaining business in the system prior to departure. Permission granted. Check your landing pad assignment. Request accepted. Your docking computer has assumed control.